Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. This is your weekly reading where I connect with the messages from the angels as to what to expect out of the weekly energy. And then we dive into some tarot cards and build upon the messages. This is all about setting you up for your most successful week. But I also do these videos for anybody who's sensitive to energy, which most people who watch my videos are. Most people in this world are in some way. And when you're sensitive to energy, you're feeling these collective energies, the energies that are impacting and influencing each and every one of us. So you're probably going to recognize some of the things that you have going on now or as we develop throughout the week in this reading. Let's take a look at this because we've been on this journey for a while now of being called to shift into the unknown, to lean into the unknown, to continue to move forward, even though we don't necessarily see the path ahead. So we've been called to take some significant leaps of faith. We've been called to make changes, to clear things out. And I don't think we're done yet, right? I think that is this energy this week as well, is us continuing to travel in the direction of the unknown. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you on here. To travel in the direction of the unknown, to lean into that and to trust in that, because when I connected with the energy this week, it's all about leaning into that unknown because that is truly where the magic is. Lisa said, not in the tub today. No, not in the tub today. I don't do all of my videos from the bathtub, just the ones usually that I do with Chris Stilson and now Davey too. So not in the tub today, but we're moving in this direction and leaning into this energy, or ideally we are, because I think that this is where we're going to find that better things are possible for us. I think that we've been in a little bit of a stubborn energy where we've maybe not wanted to move out of the vision that we have for ourselves, right? This is the way that it has to be, or this is the way that we're comfortable with it being. And so we're not necessarily willing to move ourselves out of that. And that can be problematic in that it doesn't allow us to create space for the bigger vision. It doesn't allow us to allow God, the universe, to guide our best path, right? We don't always know what's best for us. And I think that we can get stuck in that stubbornness. I know I can, of, well, I need to do it this way, or we're just stuck in our comfort zone in a lot of ways. And I think that this week is really calling us to continue to release that comfort zone, to challenge ourselves. I shared a video the other day about some of the ways that I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And when I say to you that I had a full-blown panic attack on the brink of doing something that other people look at and think like, that's just so silly. You know, it was me starting the process of getting a virtual assistant. Now, like, that maybe doesn't seem like a big deal to everyone, but for me, it sent me into a full-blown panic attack. And when I really dig deep into that, that was about me having a hard time letting go of control and trusting in someone else's ability to support me and help me on this journey. And I decided to take my own advice from one of my videos and let people help me, you know, and lean into that. But I'm not saying it's going to be comfortable. It certainly isn't. I definitely think that when we're on the spiritual path, when we're following our intuition, when we're letting our souls guide our path, it loves to bring us out of our comfort zone, to shake things up. We don't come here to earth to just exist, right? And to do the same damn thing every day. That's not what it's about. And so let whatever's showing up for you, shake it up for you. Let it move you. I really feel like this week there's this energy of being a little all over the place because there are times when we are feeling the need to be still and to tune in and to listen to ourselves. And then there are other times where we're feeling like we're being moved, right? Where it's like very clear, I need to take this action, I need to make this change, I need to do this thing. And so we're really vacillating between those two energies throughout this week. And so noticing where you're at with that and noticing, okay, maybe I just need to take a pause and just kind of listen to what my soul is trying to tell me. Or nope, I get a really clear message. This is what I now need to do. And making sure that that really clear message isn't you acting out of fear, right? Because it'll feel like you're acting out of fear. It'll feel like you are trying to control it. When I was making that change and being open to getting the virtual assistant, that felt, like I said, very uncomfortable, but I had to let myself be moved into it. And my bullshit in my head was trying to tell me every excuse in the book. And I could have allowed that to keep me stuck, but on a soul level, I knew that I need to get moving with this. I need to do this in order for me to be the best version of me, in order for me to provide all of you with the best content and the best possible version of me showing up in the work that I'm doing. So I knew that, but if I let that bullshit hold me back, I would have never done it. So we have to be really mindful of that, I think, this week and always as well. We've been feeling like we need to make some changes, I think, in a lot of ways. And so if you're feeling like there's a change that you need to make, you might get that extra prompt to do it this week. But I also think like there's that, I keep saying we're vacillating between two energies, right? There's also that need to just let it unfold, right? So you might not necessarily know what the steps are ahead of you. Just allow it to unfold and wait for further instructions, right? When you get directions as things are unfolding, follow those, do those. Make sure that you are honoring that, but also allowing it to unfold, allowing yourself to flow, and allowing it to move in a direction that's different than you expected, and finding a way to balance yourself out, finding a way to connect with your peace. I was, in my membership, we are reading A Course in Miracles, and yesterday was talking all about peace. And I thought that it was really beautiful because it was talking about the fact that we can connect with peace. But it's so important that not only do we connect with peace, but we make every effort possible to try to hold that peace, to try to be a host for that peace within our body. Because the longer that we can hold that allows us to expand upon that peace. We essentially are being a host for light, a host for the Holy Spirit within ourselves as we allow that peace. But if we don't allow that to take up residence within us, it makes it very difficult for that energy to build. And I think that that's going to be really helpful for us this week, is to find whatever we can do to allow that peace to build, to recognize the discomfort as it's coming up, but also to lean back into our souls, to maybe redirect our thoughts, or find things that are going to balance us out, find things that are going to help us to calm down and reconnect with that peace, and to stay in that peace as much as possible. We know when we're allowing ourselves to have thoughts, or to do certain activities, or to utilize certain habits that pull us out of our peace. So all I'm encouraging you to do is to try to limit how much we're doing those things, to keep coming back to your peace as often as you possibly can. I also want to acknowledge that there's something going on with the energy as well. And the first card that we pulled in the tarot is the Six of Cups. So this makes sense to me. There's some kind of energy that is also allowing us to go back to the past in some way. Whether that's just us looking at a past situation from a different perspective and processing that, whether things are actually coming up that are triggering and sparking the past in some way. There's something about that, and it feels like we're healing on so many different layers, right? And so again, healing isn't comfortable. So I don't think like we're gonna feel comfortable this week, okay? But allowing that to happen and allowing ourselves to feel the emotions that we need to feel, and maybe to also, I was saying to somebody, one of my clients was referring to this as the ghost of Christmas past, and I think that that's perfect. And I was saying in that session that, isn't it so beautiful though, so almost poetic, the way that some things are coming up for us right now that are allowing us the opportunity to look at certain things from the past and heal them and release them. And so sometimes that means that we have to feel it first, and then it allows us to unhook ourselves from the past. It allows us to release ourselves from maybe things that we felt stuck with for a long time. So I think that we're working through so much of this stuff right now, and I think it's really beautiful. You're probably like, forget you, like it's not beautiful, it's painful and it's uncomfortable. But I encourage you to take a step back and look at the beauty in it, because maybe next week, next month, you're gonna feel differently about this. You're not gonna feel like it has the same hold over you that it once did, because you worked through it, because the universe, because God gave you an opportunity to heal. And isn't that so beautiful? So look for how poetic it is now, and how poetic it is that these things are happening, and how beautiful it is, because it is all beautiful depending on how you look at it. And can we take that step back and give ourselves that perspective to look at it in that way? So let's go to the cards. So the first card, the Six of Cups. Okay, definitely stuff from the past, and definitely things coming up. But I tend to see the Six of Cups as, again, that opportunity to revisit the past. Maybe, I mean, the past isn't always bad either, right? So we might be revisiting the past in some good ways. We might be feeling nostalgic. We might be revisiting memories with people that just kind of activate parts within us that haven't been activated in a while. Because that's a little bit of what this energy feels like, is that part of what's happening is that parts of ourselves that have been offline for quite some time are being reactivated. And so this feels like part of that process, if that makes sense. The one thing that I do want to say that we want to make sure that we don't do, though, is romanticizing the past, okay? So if somebody has treated us poorly again and again and again, for example, and comes back from the past and is wanting to reconnect, chances are, if that's the pattern, right? And that's what you're going to get moving forward either way. So keeping that in mind, but you know, I also think that there's some beautiful opportunities to heal. So you have to listen to your intuition and pay attention to your unique path and how that's happening. But you don't want to tell yourself a story about the past that is essentially lying to yourself, right? Be mindful about the way that you are telling yourself stories this week. And be mindful about the way that you're telling yourself stories in terms of how much certain things that are happening suck or how hard they are. And I'm not saying, of course, things are hard and there's a lot to navigate, and that's very heavy. But where might we adjust the story just a little bit, where you start to recognize how some of this stuff is happening for you? I think if you can do that, that's going to be really powerful. And that's this Ace of Cups, right? How might we adjust the story? How might we see where things are happening for us, where opportunities are happening for us, where we have blessings that are coming into our experience. And in some of those blessings, we'll look at us recognizing where things aren't working, where things aren't going well, and where we need to make changes. And guess what? What's so beautiful about that is that we have the power to change that. And I think that if we can call on our angels, call on God, call on the universe to help support us in making these changes, it's going to be that much more powerful. Call on them. Right? Whenever we ask for help, the angels always come and they always help to support us. Now, the thing is, they always help us in the way that we need, not always in the way that we want. So sometimes we don't understand the ways in which they're helping. But I think if you really tune into the energy, you can feel their help. You can feel their beautiful, loving, supportive energy. And I really love that. And so I think that with this Ace of Cups too, there's going to be these things coming in that are showing us how supported we are, how held we are, and can we let ourselves be held up by our higher power and by the light. The next card that we have is, and by the way, these cards are all big energies this week. So I'm not surprised that I can see some comments, people saying I'm having a tough time, and I hear you, because these are big energies and this is a lot to navigate. But we have this King of Swords, right? In these big energies, we're finding clarity, and specifically, I think I pulled the King of Swords last week, specifically clarity around what's next? What do we need to do? Where do I need to go? And I think that, do I think that we're gonna have full clarity? Probably not, right? But like these little bursts of inspiration, these little bursts of clarity that are saying, hey, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should make this change. And I think that in the case of this energy, it's like clarity that leads to immediate action. Or if you're utilizing this energy the best way possible, it's clarity that leads to some form of immediate action, because I feel like there's a window here, right? And when there's a window open, it's not always open. So when you get that intuitive prompt or that clarity, like this is what I need to do, I would jump on that pretty quickly this week so that you can make sure that you're taking advantage of this window. We also have the Unity card, okay? So to me, this is about surrounding ourselves with our people. And I think that this is part of how we cope this week, how we manage this week, you know, surround yourself with your people. Or if you don't have that, you don't have your tribe, you don't have your people, put the intentions out there for you to begin to connect with that. And I think that part of what's happening right now is leading us to our people, is leading us to that place. But I also feel like with this Unity card, this is the Hierophant. There's a call maybe to create a little bit more structure for ourselves, because I think that we are so all over the place. And so there's value in finding a routine or a structure that ensures that we're taking better care of ourselves in the mix of all this. Because I think that we can get really lost in all of this energy and our whole self-care routine like goes out the window. So making sure that we're getting to that we're creating a little bit more structure, that we're holding ourselves accountable, that kind of stuff, so that we're making sure that we're taking care of oourselves in this energy. The World card. If something is trying to come to a close, let it come to a close. Because this World card is, I would say it's like the sticker from the universe, a good job sticker, right? Where there's some kind of job well done, some kind of accomplishment, some kind of lesson learned, some kind of level up that's happening. And I think that this is going to come in us being willing to lean into the unknown, be willing to surrender, being willing to trust where we are being led, even if we don't quite understand where we're being led. We just intuitively know that this is the direction that we need to head. So honoring that and listening to that. And I think through that, we see things from different perspectives. With the Awakening card, this is a Judgment card, right? We might be making big, important decisions in our lives right now. We might be choosing, or no, this is the Hanged Man card. So seeing things from a different perspective, being willing, with the Hanged Man, he is intentionally hanging himself upside down so that he can see the world from another perspective. And I think that this is one of the gifts that Gemini season brings us, is this ability to look at things from all different perspectives, and to see it from my perspective, to see it from your perspective, to see it from different ways of viewing it, so that we can identify what's the real story here, what's the real situation here, what do I need to understand, or what is going to give me the clarity that I need to make the most of what I have happening now, or what is developing in my life right now. So much happening, so much developing. I am sending you all so much light as you navigate this. I would love to hear the magic that's happening for you, though, because what I kind of have failed to mention is I really feel like there's a lot of that happening, right? I think that a lot of things are developing for people. I think that a lot of things are happening. I think there's a lot of movement that's happening. And so I love that for us. And I think a lot of that movement, honestly, is in us finding our tribe, being around our people, having fun, being more lighthearted, stop taking ourselves too seriously. That feels really important in this energy right now, is to just like not take ourselves or other people too seriously, right? I think we all get so easily offended sometimes, or so easily set off sometimes. And can we just be a little bit more lighthearted with things, or just have a little bit more fun, or not take ourselves too seriously? So that feels important right now. I think that that's part of where the magic is happening, and the other part is in just being willing to lean into the unknown, to surrender, even though we don't know where it's going. So those are your messages for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I always love to hear from you in comments below. Sorry, I'm not great about responding to comments when I'm live, but I get into a flow and it really distracts me, so I apologize that I'm not responding, but I will. Heart this video, like this video, comment below. If you feel called, share this video. I always love to hear from you guys. And if you guys are watching this on the replay on my YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. I've been starting to release my monthlies, or not my monthlies, but my summertime readings. So I have some of those up, and every day I'm going to be getting some of those up. So watch for those if I haven't loaded them for you yet. Make sure that you watch your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. That is going to give you a better picture of what to expect throughout the summer. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will see you soon with another video. Take care.